Guys, what's up? Busy night, man. Busy. It's actually a busy news day. Man, it's my first time going live in a long time. I went live like early this year. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be going live every night. 30-minute intervals. I want to talk about Paul Rodriguez. It came out a couple of days ago that Paul Rodriguez just in a TMZ interview was like, yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. He said, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this because, you know, I work in Hollywood. I'm a comedian. I'm a Latino myself, and I respect, that my parents did it the legal way, which I'm all for that. I have no problem with this is me personally, like the opinion junkie talking. I have no issue with legalized immigration because if I was, you can't just go to another country and not know the language and just immigrate, you know what I'm saying now, without some kind of language. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn the language to the area that you're going to. So I would say that Paul Rodriguez, I'm not gonna say he's bold, but let me tell you something. For you to be a Hispanic person of Mexican descent and be a Trump supporter, and it's hard to describe it because I'm black. I'm not, a Latino. My real name is Rico, but I'm a regular black dude. I'm just a Creole black dude from New Orleans. But for you to be a Latino and hear the dog whistles that Donald Trump throw towards your own people, and you still support somebody that talks that way, something is missing up here. It really is. I'm a black person and I'm a conservative, but when I heard, and mind you, I wasn't a Trump supporter before he said the shithole, the shithole countries comment, because Trump was never ever a good person. He was never ever a good guy. So I was never ever like him, like all the racist stuff that the media accused Trump of. That had nothing to do with me not being a Trump supporter back then. My problem is with the Central Park 5. Like that situation alone should have disqualified any black person of knowledge from listening to, for being a Trump supporter. So like I said, I don't know if this man is looking to risk his career for being a Trump supporter, but you can't, and I don't mind you being a conservative Latino because a lot of Hispanics are conservative, whether you know it or not. So I have no problem with taking away somebody's freedom of choice. You want to choose to be a libertarian or, one of these Greenpeace people or a Democrat. That's your legalized choice. But for Paul Rodriguez to sit there and say, now, I agree with him as far as him being against, illegal immigrants coming here. But at the end of the day, that's your people. When I heard Trump say the shithole country comment, even though I'm an African American, I'm still a dark-skinned person. I'm a black guy. So I feel a connection to anybody that's black. If they're in Haiti, if they're in Jamaica, anywhere, all those countries can be misconstrued or conceived as shithole countries. Because remember, Haiti is not a shithole country. The Clintons and all the other people that went there and took the resources from Haiti and and uh you know what I'm saying, diverted all the monies that got there. Remember, Haiti went through a lot of earthquakes, and a lot of people donated money, and the Red Cross and all those different organizations went there and fucked those countries up. And I think a lot of folks don't really know that Haiti is a big oil producer. So a lot of times, and also remember now, Port-au-Prince is, the capital. I think it's the capital of Haiti, if I'm mistaken. But for the most part, a lot of people don't know that Haiti exports sugar, oil, and diamonds. And I didn't even know that. So, and I think the Dominican Republic is on the same island, shares the same landmass as Haiti. Um, Now, also, I want to talk about Ruth Bader Ginsberg. For y'all who don't know, if y'all been watching, this is my issue with this lady. Now, I understand, she's, I think, the last female on the Supreme. Well, now there's three, but she's the oldest member of the Supreme Court at like 85 years old. She's pushing 90, and she fell and broke her ribs. She actually fractured 3 ribs. Now, let me say this. I have no issue with this woman serving if she's in good health. But to stay on the Supreme Court that long at that age, we had an issue down here in New Orleans with a judge who was so senile, they had to actually make a law to kick his ass out of court. This man was so fucking old, he was dozing off in court. And I understand, you want to show these women and the young ladies, who's in law school today, that you can fight the good fight and you on a Supreme Court forever. And that no man's going to push you off the Supreme Court and make you retire early. I mean, when you're 95, 85 years old, and the clock on your life is ticking, just retire. Take some time off and travel the world, because you're not long for this planet. When you sit on the Supreme Court and you're 85 years old, I was told, and I'm hearing some of the same shit, that some of the people on the Supreme Court, she only wants to be there to outlive Trump's presidency so that Trump can't nominate another conservative judge or a conservative justice. Now, that's the one thing that's got me pissed off about what Obama did. Because I argue with a lot of people, mostly black people, like my reasons for not liking Barack Obama. I was telling them, and if you're a black person, I got two people watching it now, but if you're a black person watching this, you think long and hard about this. Obama had 2 chances to put 2 black women on the Supreme Court, and he never did it. He put that Latino lady on the Supreme Court, and he put the Elena Kagan on the Supreme Court. And I never forgot about that, because Supreme Court judges can outlive your presidency. And I noticed that. People don't ever take that into consideration. When you're a president, you got the power to nominate Supreme Court justices who want to outlive your presidency. Now, Bush gave us, for the love of God, he gave us Clarence Thomas, but at the end of the day, Obama gave us 2 women, and he could not say that he couldn't vet 2 qualified black female judges. I'm more than positive there's a bunch of black female judges out there that man could have nominated and put on the Supreme Court. So for the most part, the way I look at it, I don't feel sorry for Ruth Bader Ginsberg. I'm glad she's on there, but I was told that she's actually almost senile, and that a lot of people don't really want to say that she's senile because they don't want to seem like they're beating up on an old woman. You know what I'm saying now? And that's got nothing to do with that. You talking about somebody who can pass legislation that can affect your life for a long, long, long time. So when you got somebody on the Supreme Court, 85 years old, who just too ignorant to leave, that brings into question the idea of us as Americans pushing an amendment to make terms for judges. Supreme Court judges need to have terms. Now, also I want to talk about the Florida recount. And what's got me fucked up with this is that Florida, for some reason, always is the only state that give us the most trouble when it comes down to elections. I never figured that out, and I never gathered that I can't even see the chat either. If y'all saying anything, live chat visible. There we go. Yeah. So with Florida, Andrew Gillum, he conceded the race, but a lot of ballots are still being counted. Now, even if he concedes the race, from what I understand from the secretary of the elections down there, is that Andrew Gillum, even if he conceded the race, it can trigger an automatic recount. And what I understand that Stacey Abrams is trying to do the exact same thing in Georgia. Now, am I pulling for these folks because they're black? No, I'm pulling them because at the end of the day, they just found some boxes of fucking provisional ballots ducked off in a classroom. Florida always has this. This is the number one reason why I think, even after Al Gore had his situation with the Electoral College, I think that the people of the country really need to. We need a unified way of voting. I don't know if it's cell phone votes, internet voting, which could be hacked. But I mean, I'm sure somebody somewhere got to put forth some legislation to get this shit situated, because it's too many races that's too important, especially governorships, where we always have a paper razor thin line of you know what I'm saying? Where you have people with like what Al Gore had, and in fact, the woman that's right now that's in charge of the Secretary of what the fuck is that woman's title? Her last name is Snipes. It just came out on Yahoo that the woman actually was under indictment for some stupid shit. So for some reason, Florida always is like the poster child for dumb, you know, for election fraud. Now, I got a question the other day from one of y'all on Facebook. I think Beto will run for 2020 president. Me personally, I think he should. My thing is this: Obama lost twice when he ran in Chicago. I think he lost against Bobby Rush, but he beat Alan Keyes. So at the end of the day, it just goes to show. In fact, our governor Bobby Jindal had that same issue down here. Bobby Jindal in Baton Rouge, he lost against Kathleen Blanco, and she used Hurricane Katrina to, and mind you, she failed us big time for Hurricane Katrina. So I don't feel sorry for anybody like that. But either way, Beto O'Rourke, for some reason, a lot of people in Texas liked him, and for you to get that close to beating somebody like Ted Cruz, it shows that there's a hunger out there. And Texas is gonna be blood red for a long time. But remember, Trump beat Hillary in Florida, so you have this certain states that's historically blood red. But you can always, if you get the right candidate to talk the right talk and throw the right people to red meat, you can flip a state. Because remember, in '04 when Obama gave that speech that made him famous at the Democratic convention, they had Republicans saying, "Why the fuck we didn't recruit this guy?" Because certain politicians can actually deliver a message. Let me see. You're right on that. Yeah. So certain politicians can actually deliver a message that actually can turn people. Because remember, you look at Andrew Gillum, who could have been historically the first black governor of Florida, and they showed the autopsy results of the race. A lot of black women didn't vote for that dude. So it just goes to show you that even if you're a black person, you're not automatically guaranteed black votes. Now, Beto O'Rourke, I liked his response to what's the Black Lives Matter? The question they asked him about Black Lives Matter, should they be protesting or I think it was kneeling on the flag. His answer, I don't know who the fuck constructed that dude answer, but I couldn't have wrote a better response to that question. I'm not even lying to you. I'm really good at talking. I'm a comedian. So I'm hoping the guy don't bow out. I think that the guy got a bright future ahead of him. And I think just Ted Cruz, for some odd reason, I don't know if he's a placeholder for somebody, but the powers that be, when I look at Ted Cruz talk, he don't seem like a guy that really want the job, if you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of people in politics that's just there for the freebies and all the benefits that come with being a senator. So I don't really think, or a congressman or what have you, but I don't really think that Ted Cruz, or shit, Trump for that matter, I don't think Trump even like being president. I don't think the wife likes being there or none of that. And that's the one thing I don't like about Trump being president. I wasn't an Obama supporter. I voted for him the first time, but at least Barack Obama looked like he loved being the president. Michelle Obama looked like she enjoyed touching his hand. She looked like she enjoyed having company. And she looked like they were comfortable being in the White House. This family is $1 billion family that come from a $20 million apartment penthouse in New York. That's an ugly, creepy ass building, the White House. I don't know if you've been to the White House before, but it smells old. You know what I'm saying now? You can feel like the slavery in the building, like the actual pain and like whatever the fuck they did, like the slaves would help build it. And this is only a black thing, but you can feel something is not right when you walk inside that building. But getting back to my other topics I want to address is the rapper Takashi 6ix9ine. This was fucking me up. Remember when Suge Knight went on a movie set and rolled over that guy? They shot a video here with Drake. The video called Nice for What? The bounce rap beat video was fucking me up. Is the security, like with that guy Triple X Tentacion in Florida, how easily he got killed like that. A lot of those dudes, the security guards, actually do shit on purpose to get you fucked up, to get you hurt. And Takashi been talking a lot of shit and running his mouth, and I think now that his status is getting higher, he is now walking around with these big old swole bodyguard dudes, which he should. But I don't like the fact that Kanye was there, Nicki Minaj was there, and they shot in her dress. That girl could have got killed, but they shot them, and they actually got TMZ, and I give them niggas the fucking, I salute them. I don't know how TMZ always get first hand. They always like the first to get like the best footage, the best, you know what I'm saying, now like connections as far as them getting certain photos that the public ain't. It's like they like the new National Enquirer, and they got surveillance footage of the dude with the gun shooting over the gate. And a lot of time when you shoot those videos, when they shot Drake video, if you lived on the street where they were shooting it at, your driver's license had to have your address on the license for you to get to your house. So I don't know who that dude was on that video set, but I'm willing to bet my life that one of those security guards has something to do with that fucking house getting shot up. Now down here, one of y'all asked me a question on my one of my YouTube videos. Is it safe in New Orleans? In New Orleans, it's not safe. I'm sorry. Last week, 4 people got shot physically on Bourbon Street. Bourbon Street is nasty. It's pissy. They got beer everywhere. It's full of strip clubs. And this is not a slight against the gay community, but there's a lot of transsexual like prostitution that go on Bourbon Street. And you can be with your kids, and there'll be a nigga bump up against you and be like, cocaine, weed. He'll just whisper it to you. And if you want it, you know, he'll give you like a little elbow nudge, and you go to the alley and get it, and you fuck around and get killed. Or robbed, for that matter. So, that's what I say. New Orleans is definitely not. In fact, New Orleans has literally never ever been safe. So for y'all who never ever been down here to New Orleans, let me give you an idea how New Orleans is. New Orleans is exactly like Chicago. If you've never been to New Orleans, we have no property value lines. So for example, you can have a house like Drew Brees, our quarterback. Drew Brees live in an area called Audubon Trace. Audubon Trace is basically all your millionaires, like Tom Cruise got a house and Rice got a house, and it's wrapped around a big old brick wall. They call it a gated community. The back part of that gate is the not the Fisher Projects. Fisher's the West Bank. I forgot the name of the projects. So we have no property value line. You don't have like a Hollywood Hills. With us, you can literally drive around the corner. Like I live in a regular neighborhood. 2 streets over, you have houses that's $400,000 to $2 million. So little broke dudes tap dancing in the quarter, tap dancing for tips. They ride it. They put each other on the handlebars and they just ride through the rich neighborhood, carjacking people. So during the summertime, when there's nobody in school, these little dudes just roam the neighborhoods aimlessly. Now, for my house, people know I'm an artist. Now, the little bitty dudes look over the gate and they beg me for spray paint, like the leftover cans of spray paint. I'll give them the left. But what happened is when I give them spray paint, and I think they probably spray painting bikes or whatever, I'll see the little niggas spray painting on somebody's house. So now the people in my area, the police, was like, "Hey, bro, we got word that you're the man to go to for the spray paint, and you gotta dispose of your paint somewhere else." Now, also we got an issue with hit and runs. New Orleans is literally the fucking hit and run capital of the world. So many people get killed because there's some crime cameras in certain areas, but the cameras we got are only like the cameras that take pictures of your car, like like traffic camera tickets for speeding or whatever. We have literally no crime cameras in New Orleans. It's like probably 20 for a city with 400,000 people in it. Now, what I mean by us being like Chicago is we have certain programs. It's a Democrat-run city. So you have these people who will go to the projects or to the hood and lie and say, we got programs for single mothers. Now, what they'll do is they'll get a few people inside the building so they can get the federal grant and say, well, look, see, we had a class. And they'll take a picture of the women in the class and they'll shut the doors a week later and never open the place up again. So the people that run it, you'll find out like 5 years later, they got indicted for stealing money. So it's almost like a poverty pimp situation where you got people in church who own churches, and the brother or the nephew or the uncle or the auntie of the people that run the church will be sitting there stealing all this money. In fact, our Congressman Bill Jefferson got reelected even after having $90,000 worth of bribe money in his house. So New Orleans is one of them things where we have a big racist issue in New Orleans as well, where you have like black corruption, but you'll have somebody who get indicted or say, vote for me because I'm black. Don't let the white folks get in power. But we have black corruption. So it's almost like you have black tyranny, and the folks who vote will say, at least Detroit is terrible like that too. Dude, New Orleans it's so fucking bad, dude. It's like we have a guy right now, for example. I'm not gonna say his name, but I will say it. Fuck it. It's called Circle Food Store. Okay, Tariq Nasheed had the Ism radio show, right? And Tariq came here with the girls, and they went to Circle Food Store. And now, mind you, I did not know the owner was a black dude, because Circle Food Store is in the middle of an area that's getting like brutally gentrified. And I ain't gonna lie, it's gorgeous now. You got these little sky blue bicycles you can fucking rent them with a credit card. But what ended up happening, the Circle Food Store got flooded by Hurricane Katrina, and a lot of folks want to see the place come back to life because it's a food desert. It's a place called Treme. Treme is the oldest black neighborhood in America, in New Orleans. Now, what happened to Treme was it was fucking beautiful. I can show y'all a picture. It's almost like imagine like a Broadway. Okay, that's how beautiful it was. It was Broadway. You had black dudes in suits. Now we get like these little historical societies who will show us photographs of Treme and Claiborne Avenue before they put a big ass overpass bridge. Now what it is, I did not notice till I got pro-black or whatever the fuck I am, conscious or woke, that the way you destroy certain neighborhoods is you put interstates that go through it. Long story short, Circle Food Store was actually the neighborhood grocery store, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Now we thought that historically the way stuff works in the old black neighborhood, you have an old white family that owned like a meat market, and they would be the corner store. But Circle Food Store was historically a Creole-owned business. That place got flooded and decimated for Katrina. If you if you ever Google the words Hurricane Katrina flooding, and you will see I don't know if a helicopter or a drone took a picture of the Circle Food Store from the air. But that particular guy who owns it, the reason I bring him up, I didn't find out till last week. This dude million from the government because the building was historic. Long story short, is out of business. And he opened up like 4 years ago. There was a ribbon cutting and all of that. Come to find out, when Tariq Nasheed and the girls came to interview the dude, he looked like he was just like, yeah, I'm doing it. I mean, he looked completely disinterested in even like being interviewed with that. Let's see, Reminder Fisher Island was owned by a black man. I don't know, for some reason it's making me, I can't see y'all chats. There we go. Black man, history could be a trip. Yeah, so that's how Circle Food Store is now. The guy come to find out he had an $8,000 light bill. He couldn't pay that. So it's one of them things where you got, and I hate to say this, bro. I mean, I want to be honest with y'all, and fuck it. I'll just say it, bro. A lot of the black business owners here, like you hear somebody say, okay, I want to support black business, but at the end of the day, you got to be in comparison to the white businesses. There's a family called Rouse's, Rouse. The Rouse's family, they got fresh food, a fresh buffet, a motherfucker doing like sushi on the spot, hibachi and shit. You can get your hair done. You can get, I mean, you know what I'm saying now? So what I'm saying is, it's one of them situations where you want the city to do good, but every time you go to a black business, like the vegetables are gone. The vegetables was like turning brown, like the fucking leaves of the lettuce, and there's no air conditioning in the building, so you can tell that the guy took the money, and we don't know what the fuck he did with the money. So what's happening now in the city is that after Katrina, a lot of the police couldn't evacuate because they had to legally stay on guard. But a lot of those cops, even their houses got flooded. 2 cops committed suicide. We're talking about some New Orleans houses that people don't live in, and New Orleans cop got killed while doing. Yeah. That particular story you're talking about, and they never found the guy who did it. It was a sad story. What happened was he was doing security, watching them build some brand new projects. And what ended up happening, I think they were stealing a copper wires out the walls, and he tried, hey y'all, you know how security guard, hey bro, what y'all doing? He shined a light in the building, and it shot toward the light, but killed him in the process. So when you're shining a light, of course, he can't see the people because they shooting from darkness out of empty windows. So no, the house was being renovated from like being, they had torn them down and was building them back up. But it's a cold case. They ain't gonna never find out who did that shit. And that's a sad story. So New Orleans Police Department is like, it's fucked up bad to the point where you have cops that are overweight. And I told this story one time in one of my videos. I'm friends with a cop that patrols the French Quarter all the time. And this dude was like, he said, Rico, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm waiting until retirement. So unfortunately, you have, you're gonna say, Roger, would you recommend I stay if I went to New Orleans? No. I would say this. New Orleans got a lot of racist history, and I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. We are the only city in the world that's got a thing called neutral ground. Now, if you live anywhere in the entire country, this, you know how you have highway traffic going this direction and traffic coming this direction. That thing in the middle, that grass, that's called the median. You see motherfuckers stand on the median, holding their little signs in the air saying, "Vote for me." That in New Orleans, our medians are called neutral ground because back in slave days, when they had free slaves, we had a racist area. The same black neighborhood I was talking about, where Circle Food Store was at, you had people selling like groceries on the median, but they called it neutral ground because you and a white dude can do neutral business without him saying, "Hey, nigger, get off the neutral ground." So the neutral grounds separate the white from the black neighborhoods. They can stand on the grass and y'all was equal. You can buy, gold, buy, exchange money, buy clothes. But the minute you step off that neutral ground, you're a nigger again. That's fucking, I'm serious. That's how crazy it is. So we have a big issue with colorism in New Orleans too. Speaking of neutral ground, and I bring that up because the new mayor is a regular black woman, but every mayor we had before her was all Creole. We have a big issue in New Orleans where the light-skinned black people that are Creole kind of sort of don't fuck with dark-skinned black people. Now that's starts from a school called St. Aug. There's a private school called St. Augustine. St. Augustine is a historically black Catholic school for boys. A lot of the boys who are St. Aug graduates become like councilmen, aldermen, mayors, accountants. They work for City Hall. And the nepotism is that if you're light skinned, I can get you into a certain club, like a boule. In fact, I'll make it easy. Our Creoles in New Orleans is our version of the boule. So you'll notice that certain, same here in the West Indies, more classy. Yeah, we got the same issue here where there's a place called the Autocrat Club. The Autocrat Club is closed now. But I was told back in the Autocrat Club, you couldn't get in the Autocrat Club unless you passed the brown bag test. Now I'm gonna show y'all. I'm one of my lights are off, but I'm trying to show you, like, I'm actually, it's hot today, but I can pass the brown bag test. But I mean, I don't fuck with dudes who think that way, because in New Orleans you have a situation where every mayor we had was Creole, and all his friends, like when every mayor, for example, every mayor that's black that was Creole, I can't make this up. They all got indicted except for Mark Morial. Mark Morial is the head of the Urban League now. He got the fuck out of New Orleans when his time was up. He got the fuck out of office. Hold up, let me see. Yeah, I hear y'all having problems employing cops. Chicago is offering. Yeah, dude, let me tell you something. The reason why we got a problem employing cops, like I tell you about earlier, that same cop is like, they got niggas here that will kill you. I'm not even lying to y'all. And as a professional artist in the French Quarter, I'm the only dude that the Convention and Visitors Bureau don't talk to, because they know I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I didn't see. In fact, there's some niggas on Canal Street was shooting in front of Popeyes, just like on TV in broad daylight. And guess what they shot in the ass? They missed their target and shot a tourist. And it was the tourist's first fucking time in New Orleans. He was all on Instagram like, ha ha ha, I had the New Orleans experience. I got shot in the ass my first day here. So I say that to say that in New Orleans we got a big no snitching policy here. Hold up, and got babies, Detroit babies being cops. You think color is worse than racism? Do I think colorism is worse than racism? No, I think they actually can't. Colorism and racism, they actually identical, because you almost like a coon. It's almost like being a coon. Think about it. You can have dark skinned black, like you take your boy on Django, fucking Steven. That nigga was pitch black and he was still racist. So it's not a matter of colorism. It's a matter of how you identify yourself. But getting back to the police part, the cops have cars that don't even work. After Katrina, the cops had to actually steal regular people cars. To mind you, a lot of those cars got flooded. Now Katrina is like 15 years ago, but New Orleans is so broke that the cops can't even afford new cars. The cars are old. They got one cop right. There's a story right now I'll tell y'all of a cop car that was so fucking old. It can only go in reverse. The nigga, he just parked his car on the road like, fuck it, bro. I can only go in reverse. Now the ranking officers, the ones who wear the white t-shirt, the white shirts as opposed to the blue shirts, the ones who sit in the office, their vehicles were perfect. But as far as employing cops, the reason why New Orleans used to have the best police officers because we got good crowd control because of Mardi Gras. You see what I'm saying? Now because of Mardi Gras, you got like cops you got like mounted police. And this is fucking amazing. These dudes like fucking Wild West because they can make the actual police horses can walk upstairs. Because in New Orleans we got like fucking a levee, but a certain levee have like a cement wall, and so the cop horses can actually walk up the fucking up the levee. Google a video. It's a New Orleans video. A horse dancing on Bourbon Street. And I don't know, you see like a lot of Mexican guys at rodeos can do this shit where they can make their horse like trot around. And they got one black dude, him and his horse be at every second line, dancing their ass off. But the cops don't get no money. Like the cops are paid shit. A lot of cops are also stealing money because what used to happen down here was, we call it doing cop detail. There are some cops down here who were so crooked, they was doing detail under the table. They was like doing security for like nightclubs and all of that shit. But they'll get in a situation where they was abusing them, like hitting them with billy sticks and all of that. And so certain folks will try to make a police report and say, hey bro, a cop knocked me out with a stick. And it'll be like, and usually what happens is, for the cops to legally do police detail work, they got to go through the police, like, you know, how you, like a booking agency. But the cops are like, hey bro, take my number, I'll guard your nightclub at night. So there will be no record of that cop at that club knocking niggas out. Also, we have a big issue with the police raping women and stalking them. Now, I'm not saying that's all the police, but we have a big issue. There's a cop right now who just went to jail for what they call that shit when you know a girl 14 years old, like carnal knowledge of a juvenile. A lot of cops get that because a lot of girls out here be twerking and popping ass and all that shit. And them girls don't really give a fuck about telling you how old they really are because the cop dig hard, you know what I'm saying? Nah, he gonna do his thing. But now we had the consent decree where the feds had to come here and go through the evidence room because the cops here was stealing drug money, stealing weed, and all of that. So it's just bad, bro. It's one of them things where New Orleans is so fucked up. Now, I live in a place called Metairie, because a lot of folks ask me when I do videos, like, if New Orleans is so bad, why do you still there? I don't live in New Orleans. I live in Metairie. Metairie is, it takes me 10 minutes to get to New Orleans. I hit the corner, make a right, hit the red light, I'm in New Orleans. I'm literally the border city outside of New Orleans. But when you travel, you say, I'm in I live in New Orleans, but obviously I'm in Metairie. Now, every time we have a Super Bowl, it brings at least $2 billion to the city because the hotels be packed to the rim. We got no idea where the money go at. Same thing with the casinos, same thing with the lottery. In fact, that's how we got the lottery here. It was like, well, the lottery is going to bring money for school teachers and all of that. That money gone. School board, also the same thing. We got a big time situation with charter schools here. Charter schools don't teach the kids nothing. A lot of the parents, for the most part, You know what I'm saying? How the parents don't really ever come to like parent teacher day. So it kind of go both ways. When you have people say we have terrible schools in New Orleans, which they kind of do. Like it was so bad, it's kind of getting better. But after Katrina, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates donated like let's say 10,000 laptops. Most of the teachers stole the laptops. They were stealing toilet paper. So it's one of them things. I'm serious. It's sad, bro. But you know, it's the way you look at New Orleans is like this. New Orleans is one out of two things: a city that's dying for leadership, or that's crying to be put out of its misery. And that's the only way to look at it. Now, Chicago, for what I understand, what I was told was a lot of the factories that was in Chicago closed down. Now, what dudes don't understand, and this is like for black men or what have you, is that you got to start your own business. That's the only way I survived down here. I graduated out of high school, went to law school for 6 months and gave up. I couldn't take it, but I'm saying I always had a knack for art, and I was always a physical person. So I had no problem doing the physical labor like them guys you see in front of Home Depot. So I saved a lot of money, got my first truck, and I went to Sherwin Williams. Like Sherwin Williams, the little paint store, Sherwin Williams, and they had a bulletin board on the wall, and the bulletin board was like, "Are you willing to work X amount of hours a day? Do you have your own tools, your own supplies?" That's the big issue in Chicago. A lot of people don't have what it takes. A lot of niggas, you know, I've learned a lot of dudes want to Uber. Uber has, let me see, I know you're slim, and know when I was younger, are those projects still there? The caliber thing. No, those projects are gone. And I'm gonna tell you something about them projects. The issue with the projects is, now this is what I like. She's retired now, but there was niggas literally in tears, crying when they demolished the projects. I'm gonna tell you why. Now, this is gonna sound racist, but I'm gonna put this in a way that makes sense. All right. Fuck it. I'm trying to do Republican talk tonight, but fuck it. We talking. We family. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Okay. There was supposed to be a transition program. Remember when I said the preachers get that money and they steal it? There was a lot of transitional programs for a lot of abandoned houses that Habitat for Humanity was supposed to renovate houses and get mind you rather, single mothers who live in the projects, right? And there was a lot of generational people who would live in the projects. What happened was a lot of those folks supposed to get trained on how to get a loan, how to keep their mortgage up, and it was going to transition them from the projects to those abandoned houses. Renovated houses that was previously abandoned. What happened was the woman Cynthia Willa Lewis, the council member for that district, she was on a bullhorn telling them, bruh, these buildings are full of lead, full of asbestos, and they're not fucking healthy. So y'all got to get out of there. And it was crying, saying, "Oh no!" Now, mind you, the projects was built in 1942, so it was super fucking strong. Like the physical body of the project, of Magnolia projects, was, in fact, some of the project, the shape of the buildings, some of the buildings are still there now, but them buildings got asbestos, lead paint in it. So the building was not even suitable to live in to today's standards. So the project had to be demolished, and they swapped them with something called mixed income housing, which is the new projects are beautiful. They got like a swimming pool now, a community center, and she was telling the people, "Look here, bro, y'all gotta move somewhere else. Unfortunately, but when y'all come back, wait till y'all see the new and improved version of projects, because the projects that Magnolia Slim and Soldier Slim and Juvenile and a lot Lil Wayne. Well, Lil Wayne came from Holly Grove, but a lot of those projects was built as like army barracks. So it was basically just like a square building with like like upstairs and downstairs. Not really something you want to raise kids in. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of alleyways and little fire escapes and shit like that. But the projects today are like they have porches. They got like their own backyard. They fucking nice. Fuck, I actually want a project house, but I'm a homeowner already. So no, the projects is what it is. Big Frida doing her thing. Like the rap music is taking over, and I'm proud. Like I say, New Orleans got a lot of good shit to offer. But the bad thing about the city is it's the same thing as Chicago. What do you say? What you think about Master P? Let me tell you something, bro. I got nothing but respect for that dude. In fact, the thing that hurt me about Master P and a lot of the other rappers is that Lil Boosie, Lil Wayne, Master P, all them brothers, and in fact, Master P brother, C Murder, the person that actually lied and got C Murder convicted, recanted his whole story and said, I made the whole thing up. And that nigga is still in jail in fucking Angola prison right now. I don't like that shit one fucking bit. But Master P put New Orleans on a map. This dude actually made the groundwork of what a rap music mogul should have been. I don't know what happened to his money, but P actually, I don't know if he owned part of Nickelodeon or something, but Master P had he actually had a lot of involvement with with Nickelodeon and with the ICDC college with his little son, little Romeo. So that's the one dude, like Master P to me, was to rap music what the Wayans family was to comedy. Like, I love that all the Wayans, Kim Wayans, Sean Wayans, Marlon Wayans, regardless of how corny you want to call the Wayans or how cheesy Master P was, that was one enterprising nigga that I'm like, that's the fuck I want to be like that. This nigga had like snacks, Master P. They actually got a Master P doll with a little fucking pull string on the back of it. So, but the reason I bring Master P up and Boosie and Lil Wayne is that unfortunately they had to leave New Orleans. In fact, Baby, I think Slim's still here. Birdman's brother, from Cash Money, is that it's really good. Yeah, I mean, 'cause think about it. Everybody at Master P family was into something. His son Romeo was an actor. He shot that movie. And Master P shot a fucking ton of movies, bro. And he put a lot of niggas to work, bro. I love the fuck out of that. Only thing I didn't like, Master P and his wife had too much beef going on. And when you are the wife of a mogul like that, he's still really, yeah, he's still, let me see, what was it? But had a sense to leave. You beat me to it. That's what happened to Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie was staying in Baton Rouge, and I'm about to, Boosie had to leave. He was like, Lil Boosie was like, you know what, bro? The fucked up thing about being a hot rapper is that you get the most hate where you from. And that's true. Every rapper that's from here, in fact, God rest the dead. The fucking dude, and I almost cried making a video, bro. That the dude named Young Greatness just got killed in front of Waffle House 2 weeks ago. And that's what I hate about New Orleans, bro. Magnolia Shorty, let me see, Me Too Malcolm. Yeah, about Magnolia Shorty, that fucked my heart up. Magnolia Shorty was one of these little black chicks doing rap, and she had like a lot of big record labels looking at her. Her boyfriend was the target, and they shot the fucking car with AK-47. They shot the car. Of course, she was an innocent bystander and killed her career like that. They shot this girl car up so fucking bad, it took her hand completely off. And this is my right hand. I don't know if y'all can tell right from left, but I can't even imagine a gun taking this fucking hand completely off. Like, you know what kind of firepower? You can't have that much black hate in your heart, or just any kind of hate. I'm a real, I'm a big dude. I can fucking nigga. I'm like 5'11", 220. I don't have a problem seeing a dude I don't like and just fighting him and saying, you know what, bro, let's just do some man shit. But when you can take an AK-47 and shoot, and those bullets are humongous, into a car so much, you tell a girl fucking half her skull was off. And when I describe, I give a lot of speeches to schools. Magnolia Shorty did not deserve to die like that. And I tell a lot of girls, like that's how much hatred these dudes got for each other. Lil Boosie, the rapper from Baton Rouge, Boosie Badass, was on DJ Vlad and all that. He can tell you some stories, bro. Lil Wayne got shot as a 12-year-old kid in his stomach. So it's so bad that niggas hate each other down here bad, bro. I mean, to a degree where they shot a daiquiri shop up and shot like 15 people in one night over like something on Facebook. So a lot of rappers, they do leave because niggas just hate. They can't see you do good. You robbing and honestly, that's kind of how it is in Mexico. You go to Mexico on the beach, they got like federales with machine guns. And I was like, dog, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm off the cruise boat. Like, why y'all gotta walk around in broad daylight like that? He said, oh, because if y'all didn't have us here, folks who haven't eaten in 3 days gonna look at you like breakfast. So, unfortunately, in New Orleans, you got folks who work in hotels, work at rallies, McDonald's, and all that shit, and they'll see you driving a Maybach, a Bugatti, and sooner or later, bro, the resentment is gonna build up in them, and they're gonna come after what you got. And that's how it is in every city where there's a poverty level. So every rapper gotta leave, bro. And it's a sad thing. That's why niggas always say, you forget where you come from. Don't leave the hood. Well, I mean, if you stay, you're gonna fuck around and get killed. And unfortunately, that really is how it is. So I venture to say, where all my tourists come here, there's a place called Frenchman Street. Frenchman is 1,000 times better than Bourbon Street. Frenchman, in fact, all the musicians that perform on Frenchman Street, they all go to, they perform on Bourbon Street doing all them cover songs like Who Let the Dogs Out and, whatever the fuck their little cover songs is. When they clock out, they go on Frenchman Street and perform their real music for the folks who live here. So, there's a blood clot. Them call me Bushmaster now. But yeah, man. So I tell everybody, dude, like the city is what it is. Like any other major city. Where I was getting to y'all earlier about Chicago, you can do Uber every now and then, but you got to get with the times. But you can't do like the future is in technology and writing software, and black people don't want to hear that. I hate to keep saying black folks, but if you look at all the people in Silicon Valley or in the tech industry, it's always you're like, oh, I love me some Luke Cage. I hate that they fucking canceled it, bro. Like me, Bushmaster was this season. Bushmaster killed it. I wanted more Bushmaster. I wanted more Killmonger. So I like the fact that both of those villains they actually outshined the heroes in them series. Like I love that shit, man. Harlem is me birthright. Harlem is me birthright, Luke Cage, the bulletproof man. Yeah, dog. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that dude. What his name is? I'm telling my niece to learn code. Fucking right, bro. Dude, let me tell you something. They got so. I took a YouTube class, and you'd be surprised how many dudes are making money writing apps. Just making apps. Like, in fact, the future is technology. The future isn't writing apps. There's so many dudes. There's 2 black guys right now that wrote an app to check your blood level. The app is not even finished yet, and I think Pfizer offered them $2 billion to buy the app because they know for a fact that once they finish it, everybody across there's got to be like 7 billion people on the planet right now. That's chaos money for a white company. They can take that shit to the next level. And I'm not saying, but because unfortunately, I always ask people who ask me about like certain things like white privilege and shit like that, and I always say, help me name a black-owned oil company, because oil is the future. Oil and solar energy. Get your ass in some fucking solar energy, bro. Invested in the app and made tens of fucking right. People don't understand that, bro. The money is in apps. Like and the thing about it, I think the average app can cost like 20 grand, and you can flip that app into $100,000 a year business, and nobody wanna hear it because it ain't sexy enough. So, in fact, that's how Uber started. Uber Eats. They got an app right now. When I give speeches on how to make money, because I was a broke dude, and I ain't gonna say I'm rich, but I got money. No, I ain't gonna lie. But but you gotta work. Like you see all these bags, 17 hours a day. I work literally 17 hours a day, so I ain't gotta be broke. Cause I'm self-employed. I ain't got no boss. I had to learn my credit. In fact, Tariq Nasheed had a little issue with Roland Martin, and I bought that up. Cause a lot of dudes like, what's the black agenda? What's the black agenda? And I said, oh, I can answer that easy. Cause I never heard a pro-black dude ever answer what's the black agenda. Like, never answer that question. I'm gonna give it to y'all. Let me see. My financial coach always says making money can be boring. That is good. It's not always sexy. Fuck no. Making money is boring as a motherfucker. My agent and my lawyer, we had lunch one day, and my agent was like, do me a favor. She said, save all your receipts for like a week, and you'd be surprised what you spend your money on. I said, okay, you're right. So I saved all my money for a week, all my receipts, and I was like, I spent like $70 at McDonald's. I drank a ton of Mountain Dew. I was like, what the fuck? I was spending money on random shit like PJ's coffee, them little lattes and shit. It added up fast. So I knew what you're talking about, bro. I started putting that. I make my own shakes in there. I lift my own weights and I, do my own thing. I got my own weights. I cut my gym membership down and all of that. But getting to what I was saying about the black agenda, the first thing is get politically literate. A lot of black people hate to get politically literate. So you need to learn what the proposition. For example, our last proposition was should people with felonies be allowed to be on the jury now, and we all voted it in, so it passed. And if you wasn't politically literate, you wouldn't have known about that because it wasn't sexy enough. It wasn't the governor's race. It wasn't the senator's race. Another number two is get you a passport. Black people especially, are scared to leave America. Nothing is wrong. Let me see what's on the same. Got my own ways track spinning. Fucking right. And I definitely was telling somebody the same thing, that you got to get your political game and get your literacy game up. Learn how to build your how to build credit. The way I built my credit, I had to go to the bank because I paid everything in cash my entire life. I didn't know that. I had the same little, the ghetto uncle. Hey, bro, just get you to the car lot with like $5,000 and buy the car outright. Don't do car notes. I don't want nothing with a note. I didn't realize that there was a such thing as good credit and bad credit. I didn't know that either. So I started going to to all these different people, and I was like, asking like advice on credit and shit like that. And the guy said, yeah, go to the bank if you got no credit history, and give them like $500, and get your secure credit card. Get you another secure credit card, and at different banks though. So I started getting it, and one of them would be like $1,000. It took me like 4 years to pull this off, but I did it, and I got a damn good credit score now. But I had to like almost fake it till I make it, and I done made it. So I say get a passport, because a lot of black people they'll do like Jamaica, they'll do like Canada, shit like that. But I said no, you gotta like go to like France, go to Africa, go to different places, because if you watch the news, they make Africa look scary. Africa was fucking gorgeous, and if you're a black dude, I don't know what is in your blood, and you gotta take the little shots for the vaccinations. But once you go there, you'd be surprised. Like there's regular black folks in Italy and all that. I've been all over the place. There's like regular niggas like me in Italy, but they're African, and they got like some of the military black dudes walking around there too. So get a passport. Also get a family bank. Now this was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Me and my older brother, who don't get along, we did have a heart to heart and say, bro, we need like an emergency fund. So what you mean? I said, let's say if I get fucked up, my car break down, I'm gonna need to borrow a couple of grand, get a transmission fixed. Or you may have an issue with moving out your house. We started talking about it over like, weed and drinking and shooting pool. So my other brother, so all three of the brothers, me, my older brother Chris, and Fabian, all of us got together and we made a family bank. Now we're just stacking money for a rainy day. Number four was get life insurance. So I broke all that shit down, and I had a bunch of folks at this church like, wow, we ain't never heard of that. And I said, speaking of church, I was like, your other agenda item is if your church does not believe in microloans, get the fuck out that church. And they're like, what you mean? I said, well, you know what, Creflo Dollar is worth $45 million. At any given point, he can just say, you know what, I'm gonna start financing black businesses. I don't want no interest off the loans, just pay them back. So be the Lord. Lord Jesus told me to do this. I said you can legally give this fucking thing connecting. Okay. Alright, I think I'm back. Yeah, so Creflo Dollar can just give microloans. But for some odd reason, that never crossed TD Jake's mind. It never crossed Creflo Dollar mind. It never crossed Eddie Long mind. So I say, if your church ain't giving out money, why put money into a church that won't give you money back? Remember that. You can't take that money to heaven with you. And I told the guys, another thing is partner up with other black people that think like you. That's your agenda. If you're a Nawapian, you're a Buddhist, Hebrew Israelite, that should not matter if y'all goal is money. You go to your church, I go to my church. I'm a Muslim, you're a Christian. That should not be any issue. Let me see. When you go to Nigeria and see how people live by, of course. And I was telling the guys the same thing. I said, I want to go to Ethiopia and see Addis Ababa and see how that place look in person. Because a lot of times people don't understand, man. Like that shit on Ethiopia, them little starving kids. That's old TV. I didn't know Ethiopia even had their own language, like their own alphabets or whatever. So one of my friends named Jermaine, who was a taxi cab driver, was showing me that. He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "We have like our first female president. Ethiopia is a damn good, well developed country now." So yeah, I tell everybody, if you're a black person, you gotta see Africa at least once. Even if you go to Johannesburg or some shit, just physically walk off the plane and just to go there. Because you see all of Asian dudes, the plane is packed with Chinese people going to Africa. Because they want the women. And they want the land. I mean, it's almost like untapped resources, so to speak. And with us being black people, I mean, Buckhead won't compare. Buckhead won't compare. Yeah, so I say, I always look at wealthy black people and why you have to go back to the hood to get something back. I say because at the end of the day, everybody don't have the same opportunities that you got. Or don't really know how to, you know what I'm saying now? They don't really know how to take advantage of certain opportunities. So it behooves you to train or teach somebody that's coming under you. Because remember, go around, come around. Even if whatever your energy is, you can put that karmic energy out in the universe and get good energy back. There's always something out there watching you. That's why when I do my YouTube videos, I don't really lie. I don't want nobody to be like, "Damn, nigga, you lied." I want to know, each one teach one. I won't be telling y'all some, advice, come to New Orleans and go walk around the Ninth Ward and get your ass killed. It's not safe here. It really ain't. But anyway, guys, my phone is about to die. It was fun chatting with y'all. I'm going to Domino's, get this pizza, man. I'm going to Netflix and chill by my goddamn self tonight. Anyway, I'm going to do another video. This dude down here in Mississippi, next to Mississippi, he lost his job. Another suspected white supremacist went voting, and I don't know, the picture went viral. It's a dude had a shirt that said Mississippi Justice. It was a rebel flag with a noose, and it said Mississippi Justice. And it was like, in the comment section on WWL-TV, like, I'm sick and tired of white people getting fired for wearing the clothes that they wanna wear. And I said, no. When you got a rebel flag with a fucking noose in the middle of it saying Mississippi Justice in a majority black voting district, these people were actually in the they were voting, and he went to the actual one of the voting sites with that damn shirt on. So he deserved to get fired. I mean, why would you wear that shit in your house, but don't fucking wear that shit out in public with a damn noose on it, knowing historically what that dog was so mean. So I ain't got a problem with him losing his job, and I don't feel sorry for him because whatever he did, and he worked for a hospital. So who knows what the fuck that dude was doing behind people back. Anyway, guys, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Good night. Peace and love. This is my actual second time ever going live, and YouTube not cock blocking me. They don't let me ever do it. They monetize my channel. I think I can get donations and shit like super chats or whatever, but I can't have commercials or whatever. But anyway, good night, guys. I will speak to you guys sometime tomorrow.